Howdy everybody, welcome back to Outnumbered Barbecue. Today I'll be making a Butterfinger brisket. I'm going to use this prime brisket and these fun-sized Butterfingers. Now I didn't come up with the idea for a Butterfinger brisket. A well-known pitmaster in the Houston area named Jim Buchanan started making these briskets at his pop-ups and his restaurants. It got really good reviews, sounded tasty, so I thought I'd give it a shot. I'll be using this 13.5 pound prime brisket from HEB, 10 of these fun-sized Butterfinger bars. So I'll show you how I trim this brisket, get it seasoned, get it on the pit. Once I got it out of the package, I noticed this really mangled spot from the butcher. Nothing much you can do about it. I'll start with taking this big chunk of fat, this decal fat, off the meat side. Then start trimming down some of the fat from the fat side. I'm aiming for about a 1/4 inch of fat all the way around. Now you can see this thin edge of the flat, pretty thin. We'll shape it so we can cut that off and get a nice round aerodynamic shape. Now just go around and smooth out all the edges. That looks good. Now let's get our rub together. To crush the Butterfingers, I'll use this Ziploc bag. We'll put about 10 of these small sized Butterfingers. Use this metal mallet. Get them crushed. I don't want them too fine. I still want a little texture, just like that. Now for the base layer, we'll be using 2 parts coarse black pepper, 1 part kosher salt. I'll use a 1/2 cup of black pepper and a 1/4 cup of kosher salt. I'll be cooking this fat side up, so we'll start with getting an even layer of this salt pepper mixture on the bottom on the meat side. Now I'll flip it over and do the same for the fat side. I'm only applying the crushed Butterfingers to the top. I was a little worried if I put it on the bottom also it may burn, so I'm just sticking with the top. Now just get a good even layer and pat it in. I also want a little heat to go with the sweet, so I'm going to be using this chipotle chili powder, a little extra smoky flavor, a little added heat. Now let's get it on the pit. I'll be smoking this today on my Workhorse Pits 1975T. I already have it going with a good coal bed, smoking about 200 to 225 degrees for the first 3 hours. I'll come back and show you what it looks like after 3 hours. Here we are after 3 hours. Pit's been holding steady at 200 to 225 degrees. Nice orange color from those Butterfingers, starting to get a nice mahogany from the smoke. Now after 3 hours, I'll be bumping up the temperature. I'm going to try to keep it between 225 and 250. Now here we are after 6 hours. Getting darker, nice color, nothing burning. Now after about 9 hours, hit an internal temperature of 175 degrees. I'm going to pull it off the pit and I'll be using the foil boat. Now back on the pit it goes, 300 degrees. After about 12 hours, I hit an internal temperature of about 205 degrees. I pulled it off. It's been resting here on the counter for about an hour and a half, down to an internal temperature of 160 degrees. And now I'll be resting it overnight in the turkey roaster. I have the turkey roaster set at 150 degrees, and I'll show you what it looked like the next day. And here we are after a 12-hour rest in the turkey roaster, 148 degrees internal. Now let's get it out, sliced up, and see how we did. It definitely stayed moist. Let's get a slice off the flat and see how it tastes. Perfect tenderness. I'm going to take a bite of this top edge that had the Butterfingers. Definitely sweet, smoky, a little spicy with that chipotle pepper. Now let's get a taste of the point. Fat's well rendered. That looks good. You don't really taste a chocolate flavor, mainly just smoky and buttery. Once again, thank you for watching. I hope you give this Butterfinger brisket a try. Hit the subscribe button in the middle.